Okay, boyfriend and girlfriend is good, it's cool, but when marriage is involved, I feel like the devil tries you even harder. Welcome back to my channel. So I haven't done a sit down video in such a long time and I want to, so we're gonna be doing a life update. I'm gonna be getting you guys hip to everything that's went down in the last couple of weeks and months and everything, but I gotta get paid first. The hair I'm gonna be working on is from SoGoodHair. It is their 24-inch lace frontal wig. It comes pre-plucked, and it's also a 360. So it has hair in the back also, so you can always put your hair up in a ponytail if you want to. So this is how it's looking right now. I did Got to Be spray it down, so I didn't use Ghost Bomb just because Got to Be spray has just been like my girl. It's been like my jam as of late. I haven't had to do too much with it. Just spray it, let it dry, and it kind of locks into place. I'm gonna let my hair down so you guys can see it. I have it in the ponytail away from my face because it is really thick. It's been in the ponytail for the last 3 days. I haven't really had a chance to do anything to it, but the hair is super pretty. So let me go brush. Let me get a brush so I can brush this hair, and then we're gonna style. We're gonna talk. I think I'm gonna work on the hair and kind of catch you guys up to date to everything that's been going on. Let me give you guys the specs on this hair before we even jump into this video. Like I said, this hair is 24 inches, 180% density. This hair is super thick and it's really like, it has a lot of luster to it. I am brushing it because it's been a ponytail for a long time. Okay, so this is how the wig comes. It is by a 6x6, and you guys can see the frontal has been bleached. The knots have been bleached. It comes pre-bleached like this. I took it off my head because I wanted to show you guys how it looks. So this is how the wig looks. It is 24 inches and 150% density. Really thick. You guys are gonna see me curl the hair on camera and you guys can see how the luster is, but this is how the wig comes. It already came pre-bleached. All I did was probably bleach the middle part and lay my baby hair. It came in jet black, which that's how I normally like my hair. The frontal part was pre-bleached, but I did go back and bleach it some more. Let me brush this side now. It is 360, so it has baby hair in the back. I haven't felt cute in a long time, and I feel cute today, so I love that for me. Let me brush this. My mirror is right here, so you guys are in my bathroom. While until I get my workroom like completed, we're gonna be doing most of my hair videos in this bathroom. So let me brush. Let me be careful I ain't yanking nothing off. So like I said, 24 inches. It does have 360. I'm gonna show you guys the back. It looks like this. The back does have baby hair in the back, but I'm probably not gonna be wearing my hair up in the ponytail like at all, so I'm probably not gonna be even messing with the back. I'm about to plug this up, plug my little iron up. I'm gonna be using the Hot Tool curling barrel to curl my hair because I think I want like some beach wave, and then I'm gonna fix my baby hair. First and foremost, I want to say thank you guys so much for 100,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. I'm so grateful. I know in the beginning of the year things just really slowed down for me in terms of like creating content, so it was kind of hard for me to get to 100,000, but we got here, and I just want to tell you guys that I love you guys so much. You guys are family. You guys are more than family. You guys literally have seen me in a relationship since I was like 21. I mean, you guys didn't really see the beginning part of everything, but you guys saw when me and Roman first moved in together, when I got proposed to, and all that type of stuff. I'm just so grateful and I'm so thankful for you guys, and we're just gonna continue on this journey. I know God has a plan for my life, and he has a plan for my audience, and I'm excited to take you guys on my journey and, you know, keep it pushing. And I just want to say thank you again, and I really appreciate you guys. I can't believe 100,000 people subscribe to me. I'm very grateful. So let's talk about life updates. So we moved out of downtown. We moved about 7 months earlier than our lease was supposed to be over. That being because I felt like the apartment that we were at had really bad juju. Like, I felt like that downtown apartment, it had bad juju. My skin was the first thing that took a turn for its worse. Like, as you guys know, I'm gonna put a picture right here. I lived in Katy, which is in Houston. My skin cleared up significantly. My skin was popping. My skin was great. Like, girl, my skin was everything. Everything that I hoped for, everything I ever wanted, my skin was. As soon as we moved downtown, my skin didn't like really start getting that bad. It was once I got back from Los Angeles. I went to LA for BeautyCon, and as soon as I got back, my skin took a turn for the worst. My skin was breaking out so bad. I don't think it's ever broken out that bad before. So that was like a red flag. It did play on my emotions. It played on my insecurities. I was very insecure. And this is just me being like vulnerable with you guys. I was very insecure about my skin. There were days that I would cry about my skin just because, like, I felt like I already went through like Accutane. I already did my part on, oh my god, I need to go get my nails done. I already did my part on, you know, taking care of my skin and making sure my skin was, you know, good. Paid a lot of money. I paid a lot, baby, a lot of money to try to get my skin back. Like, I think there was 1 month that I spent like $400 on skincare and estheticians. And even the esthetician tried to get me on some type of plan. I'm like, girl, I'm not trying. We gotta figure out what's going on, because I don't think it has anything to do with what you're doing. I just think there's something wrong. So, of course, I panicked, freaked out, all that type of stuff. Eventually, I stopped going to my esthetician, and I just kind of was like, maybe it's because we live downtown. Everybody knows that downtown is polluted. Sorry guys, I'm trying to, let me part my hair, cause, and then I kind of started to notice the quality of people that lived in our apartment. Yeah, I was like, what's going on here? I was like, what's going on? The quality of people that lived in my apartment. Now, first of all, when we first came to look at this apartment, they made this apartment seem like it was the Prestige Royale. They made this apartment seem like, oh, security and concierge and all this stuff. They made it seem like it was a really nice apartment. And that's why they say all that glitters is not gold, baby, because once we moved in, I think about 4 months, and was when we started to notice the type of people that lived there. And I'm not bashing nobody. I'm not bashing nobody that sells drugs. I'm not bashing nobody that sells pussy. I'm not bashing. Do what you want to do. But I am a big believer in energy. And your home where you lay your head is sacred. So if you have those type of people in your apartment and they have dark energy, eventually it's gonna reflect on you. Whether you want it to or not, it's gonna reflect on you. So we noticed that there were prostitutes living there, porn stars living there, drug dealers living there. There were some white people that lived there, but I think they eventually moved out. They still have some people. There are people that were living off mommy's money. It was just like the quality of people that lived there was just not it wasn't it, like, at all. It wasn't it at all. So then that was another strike. And then another strike is they kept on losing my package. Yeah, they kept on losing my package, or the concierge would send my package back, or they made me put my full legal name on my packages. And I don't, like, for certain stuff I don't mind giving my legal name, but like when it's PR and stuff, I'm not giving my legal name, I'm putting my social media name. So then that happened. And then another thing that happened was, literally, I'm storming downstairs to go talk to concierge, and I'm going back and I see these two men. One of them had like grills on in his mouth, you know, saggy pants. I don't like niggas like that. Those are not the type of men that I, as a 26-year-old woman, would date. That's just me. I don't know what other girls will go for that, but me personally, I like my man to look like my husband put together. So I get in the elevator, they're like, so what's wrong, like, why are you mad? And I'm just like, because this dumbass apartment lost my package. And they were like, oh shit, well dang, I hope they found your stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but it's cool, it's whatever. You know, I try to talk to, like, when somebody's talking to me, I'm not gonna be rude, because women are getting killed, and I'm not about to be one of them. So let me just entertain this conversation. So of course I'm like, yeah, blah blah. So the guy was like, let me get your number, and I'm like, I'm married. He was like, oh, he's like, dang, he's like, are y'all on good terms? Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. If me and my man was on any good terms, why would you think I would talk to you? Like, what? No, I'm not that type of girl. I don't care if you have money. I don't care if you have chains. I don't care what you have. The thing about me is that I did all that stuff when I was 17, 18 years old. Like, when I was a kid, Susu, I dated guys like that. I dated guys that had money. I didn't really date the whole grill thing, but I dated guys that were like, you know, I'll buy you whatever you want. Now that I'm older, I'm just like, that type of stuff they don't do nothing for me. They don't get me excited. You feel me? So I was just like, first of all, what the hell? So I go in and I'm laughing and I'm telling Roland, and Roland's like, what the hell is wrong with the people here? So that was another strike. And then the final strike for me from that apartment was when a flood happened on January 1st. So apparently a pipe bursted on the top floor. Mind you, I think we already put in our 60-day notice, because we were just like, we don't want to stay here anymore. Now, we did have to pay a fee, and that's why I'm always telling young people to always have a savings account, because you never know what can happen. And if we didn't have the money to get out of that situation, we would have been starting 2020 on a negative. And I'm so grateful. There are reasons why sometimes you ask God, like, oh, why do you have this amount of money in your account? And you never know what it's gonna be needed for. So of course we put in our 60 days. And once the flood happened, we were excited. We thought that, you know, the flood happened, we might not have to pay the fee. Oh no, baby. They said, you gonna pay that fee. And it was a big fee. It was a really big fee. But I also didn't want to start the new year in a negative headspace. And then another thing happened was when Bentley was in the room barking at the wall, like just randomly barking at the wall. I was in the bathroom, Roland was in the living room. He was randomly barking at the wall, and then he got scared and ran away. And I am big on spirituality. I'm big on spirits. I'm big on all those things. So I'm just like, oh no, baby, we gotta go, because dogs can see spirits and they can see negative juju and all that type of stuff. And I think he saw something and he got scared and he left. Honestly, guys, when I say that apartment, the energy alone was dark, like dark. I felt very stagnant. I felt very unmotivated. I'm surprised that me and Roland didn't even have that much fights there. We only had one fight, which is crazy because I'm gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about different subjects. But let's talk about the apartment, which is crazy. We only had one fight, but other than that, everything else was like mainly mental for me. Like I was dealing with a lot of mental battles. Oh, this is pretty. I was dealing with a lot of mental battles. So, we break the lease, we pay them. The 30 days that we had left felt like hell. Literally, felt like hell. But we stuck it through. And we actually ended up moving in to this new apartment earlier. So we were just like, you know what? Let's keep the other apartment. Let's just move out. Like I think we moved out about 4 days earlier. So we used those extra 4 days that we moved out. We used that to kind of clean the old apartment and pack our stuff up. Y'all, if you live downtown or if you want to live downtown Dallas, please don't move to Mosaic. Do not. Don't save yourself the stress. Don't. I mean, I can say the name now because I don't live there anymore. But don't move to Mosaic. You're gonna hate your life. So we moved out of there and then we moved here, which is so much better. The vibe is better. I feel happier. I feel like myself again. My skin cleared up. Can y'all see it? I have makeup on right now because I got a skin pen and child, I'm peeling and my, skin pen makes your skin darker before you get back to your original skin because the cell turns over. But my skin cleared up and that was like my biggest insecurity. A lot of people always ask me, how do you have confidence? You just look like you just are so confident, you got your shit together. Listen, baby, I go through it too. We all go through it. We're all humans. God doesn't have favorites, I mean, I'm favored, but God doesn't have favorites, meaning we all gonna go through it. So I felt very, very insecure and I started to feel like myself again once like my skin started to clear up. So in this new apartment, it is so much better. It is bigger, way bigger. The apartment that we're at, we're paying $1,700 for a studio in Texas. $1,700 for a studio in Texas. Of course, that's including like we had to pay for parking, we had to pay for electricity, we had to pay water, all that stuff came up to $1,700. And I would never advise anybody to do that. I don't care if you want to see the view. I'm even like, I have PTSD. Whenever I see somebody like with the view, like a view apartment, I'm just like, y'all can keep that shit. I don't ever, like, I'm good. Like, I like where I'm at right now. I like the suburban, the suburban look. Like, yeah, definitely. But so right now in a much better space in terms of home. I'm much more happier. Of course, nowhere is perfect. Things are not going to be perfect, but I do like this place and the vibes here is much better. The energy here is more positive and you could definitely sense it. So the next thing I want to talk about is our relationship. I don't really think I sit down and talk about me and Roland's relationship to you guys that much, but we're having a girl-to-girl talk and why not? So me and Roland's relationship, honestly, I found my soulmate. Like, I am very happy with the man that God gave me. I'm very grateful that God chose me to be his wife. And it wasn't easy to get to where we are at right now. I know a lot of people see us and, of course people see us as goals. And I would see us as goals because our relationship wasn't easy. It wasn't a smooth sailing. Besides the Valentine's Day video I dropped, when we moved in together, I think the first time we moved in together, we struggled. Then the second year we had a roommate, and that brought a lot of friction in our relationship, and me and Roland fought a lot to the point that I didn't even think we were gonna be together. And this, you guys are gonna hear this for the first time. I thought that we thought we were gonna be together because we were fighting so much. And you know, I say this, like, if you are struggling, don't get a roommate. Don't get a roommate with your spouse. It's hard living on your own, especially when you don't get help from family or your parents or none of that stuff. But I would definitely advise you guys, probably, like, just don't get a roommate. Make it work, figure something out, save money, you know, start over again, but don't get a roommate. The devil, marriage, okay, boyfriend and girlfriend is good, it's cool, but when marriage is involved, I feel like the devil tries you even harder. And the first year of marriage is like the most difficult time. I don't know for everybody else, but it is difficult. We're gonna be 4 years, praise God, in May of being married and 8 years being together. So I feel like we did pretty well. It was hard. And then when you start to involve other parties into it, it gets even harder. So around the time that we first moved in together, I wasn't affectionate. I was very, like, dominant. I was definitely like a type of woman. And I was also, sometimes I came off a little condescending and a bitch. Roland had to check me at some times because I would be very snarky with my approach. And I didn't really think too much of it because it's like when you're on the outside, when you're the person doing it to that other person, you really don't think of it that way, or you really don't see how you're affecting that person. You really don't see how you're affecting that person. And I had to learn how to, like, change how I spoke to him, change my verbiage, not be rude, not be, like, mean. I feel like I was being mean. And I didn't know, I feel like it was because maybe anger from past relationship or past friendships, or just, you know, just bottled up, like, emotions, I felt like. So I think I used to take my frustration out on him a lot. And Roland is a very patient man. I'm very grateful, like I said, for the man that God gave me, because I feel like two of my personality type in a relationship would have never worked. It would have never worked. I mean, now I am a little better. I give him a lot of words of affirmation. I do tell him, like, I love you. I tell him how amazing he is. I call him baby. I call him my love. I say all those things. I have warmed up a lot. I'm not as tomboyish as I used to be. I used to be a very tomboyish type of woman towards him. So now I'm a little bit more feminine. I'm a little bit more like my love and all that type of stuff. But those first year of marriage was hard, especially when we were struggling in terms of finances and trying to, you know, figure ourselves out. We spent most of our early 20s growing with each other. So me and Roland moved in together at 21. He was 20, I was 21. And we literally had to learn how to be adults and be in a relationship. So it was so hard. And it was a struggle for me. Like, it was a struggle because I didn't know how to be a woman. I didn't know how to be, you know, a wife. I didn't know how to do any of those things. So I had to learn. Of course, with time, I don't think I learned a book, and I don't think I'm gonna read a book on how to be a wife, because I feel like everybody's solution doesn't work for everybody. Like, somebody else's solution might not work for me. So I had to learn how to be more of a wife, a little bit more submissive. And I feel like submissiveness is hard, especially when you're a strong woman. And I feel like I'm that. I feel like I'm a very strong woman, and it took me a minute for me to be submissive. Like, the first year of our marriage was difficult. I feel like that's when we had like got into it with each other. And then the next year after that, we didn't really get into it that much, and it just progressively got better. So if you're in a relationship or you're in a marriage and it seems like you guys are probably not gonna last, patience and communication is definitely gonna help your marriage survive. I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not saying that just because it worked for me, it's gonna work for you. I'm just saying that what I know for sure is that communication and patience is a very strong thing, and it will help your relationship. So in my first year of marriage, it was really hard, and because I was growing into a woman and becoming a woman, I had to learn how to be more sensitive and emotional, especially like in an African household. You know, for me, I didn't really see my parents be affectionate towards each other, so it was very foreign to me, and I had to learn how to be affectionate towards my husband, especially because I love him, and I wanted him to feel appreciated. So of course, as time went on, I started to understand myself as a woman and myself as a wife. Oh, I'm a woman first, I'm a wife second. And I know a lot of you guys asked me about children, and while we were in Puerto Rico, me and Roland actually had a talk. I'm about to redo that one. While we were in Puerto Rico, me and Roland actually had a talk about the whole children thing. And I told him my reason why I didn't want kids, and I feel like I'm able to share with you guys. I feel like you guys are like family, and I could be vulnerable enough to tell you guys why I didn't want kids. I didn't want kids because I was scared. And I was scared that I wouldn't be a good mother. It's one of my biggest fear is not being patient enough. And I want to make sure that I'm also financially good. I also want to make sure that we're financially good. I want to make sure that we're able to take care of our kid no matter what. Because honestly, I would love to have a baby with my husband. Just because he is the love of my life. I never thought I would ever love somebody the way I never thought I would ever meet somebody that loved me the way he loves me and pours into me the way he pours into me. And I'm very grateful for that, because I feel like we all have one soulmate. I know some people say, oh no, you have multiple soulmates. I don't believe that, because there's no multiple of you, there's only one of you. So I believe that we all have one soulmate. And I told him, you know, while we were watching, I think we were watching a movie, but we paused it, and I said, you know, I do want to have kids. A kid. I don't see myself having two. I actually only see myself having one. I do want to have a kid, but I'm scared. I'm scared that I won't be able to provide for my child. Of course, my career comes first before anything else. I don't care what anybody says. I'll always choose my career over anything else. Well, not family, but I'll choose my career before I have kids. And I have to wait till I feel like I'm ready for that. And a lot of people try to force children down my throat as if they're gonna be the one carrying the baby. I want to make sure that I'm gonna be having a kid in a home that the kid will not want for anything. Now, let me see how to do this side too. Now, what we discussed about was how I want to make sure that I'm able to take my child to Disney World and do all those beautiful things for them. And people always say, well, those type of things are gonna come after, and it's a process, you know. But with me, I want to make sure that I'm like, if I'm not 100% set, at least I want to be 95% set. because there's nothing worse than your child wanting for something and you not being able to provide that for that child. And me and Roland are at the peak of our career. We're at a good standpoint in our career. Now, that's what we're focusing on right now. Roland is an amazing wedding photographer, and he's gonna get better because that's his calling. That's what God called him to do. I tell him all the time, I say, God called you to be a wedding photographer. God called you to capture people's union, you know? And he's blessed that he's that gifted. When I show you my husband's work, you guys, my husband is gifted. And he takes amazing pictures. And I know that when we have kids, our kid is going to be so proud of who we are and what we do and the things that we've accomplished. But I also want to be proud of it. You feel me? So when it comes to children, children are a beautiful thing, and they're not a curse, they're a blessing. And when you don't want to rush a blessing. You don't want to rush a blessing because there is something called premature blessings. And you want to wait so you're ready for that blessing. And you know, when you're ready, God is going to make a way. And I always say that because God doesn't make mistakes, but also God doesn't rush. God does everything in His perfect timing. So before I decide to even have kids, I want to make sure that it's God's perfect timing, and I am emotionally ready for that. I even told my mom, I said, if you bring up kids, I'm gonna stop coming to your house. And she changed that verbiage quick. She said, okay, I'll stop. That's like good, because everything ain't right. I don't talk to my dad. Roland is fixing his relationship with his mom. You know, there's still things that need to be fixed before we have kids, because it takes a village to raise a child. And if the village that's supposed to be taken to raise this child are still not, the relationship isn't fixed, why would we rush into something like that? You know what I'm saying? So in the future, absolutely. But for now, we work. Okay? So when people come on my social media and ask me for children and all that type of stuff, don't rush me. Don't rush me. This is not your womb, it is my womb. And this is not your husband, it is my husband. With the wisdom that I have and the wisdom my husband has, it would be a disservice not to have a child and teach that child about what it is to be a Nigerian American person in this world. Teach my child about loving themselves and telling them how they could be whatever they want to be and create the life that they want to create. There's just so many wisdom that me and my husband could pour into our child, and it's not something that I would rush, because the mentality I have now is completely different from the mentality I had when I was 23. And that's the great thing about age. With age comes wisdom. But I won't say wisdom, because there's some older people that are stupid. I would say with age, you learn more. So you do get wiser if you learn from, you know, what is being taught to you. You do get wiser, but all in the right time. So the 26 Susan is completely different from 23 Susan. Just like, you know, 30 Susan will probably be different from 26 Susan. You feel me? So everything just needs to be like a process. And once I turn 30, I know I'll be a completely different person. And we do want to wait till we're like in our 30s to have kids. And there's nothing wrong with that, because our generation is a little bit, you know, much more different. We're not trying to rush to have kids. We're kind of, you know, taking our time. But most people don't understand that. Me and Roland did the things the right way. We got married first. A lot of people are having babies and not even getting married first. Not saying that marriage is the end all be all, but the foundation of two adults that are married, having a kid, completely different child. You could take a child that was raised in a broken home and a child that was raised in a home that the parents love each other, there's love, meaning God as a foundation, and you take those two kids, they're completely different. So I want to make sure that the foundation that we're setting is the right foundation, you know? So yeah. This wig is from SoGoodHair. I hope you guys enjoyed this life update that I shared with you guys. And thank you guys again for 100,000 subscribers. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye.